Welcome back to Finance in Motion. My name is Adamo, your personal financial planner. My goal, as always, is to help you build your wealth and help you sleep well at night. Today's topic is going to be about critical illness. Now, why is this topic important? In my daily practice, I have a lot of clients that have asked me, how do I protect their net worth? How do we grow the net worth? So essentially, in growing a net worth, the thing that we need to retain is how do we protect it against things that can happen in your life? So I put on the board a topic known as critical illness. What are some of these illnesses that can arise under a critical illness situation? There's actually 25 in the industry that are labeled, and I'll get to those in the action part of the video. So I always structure the videos as issue, action, and what's the result. So the initial issue in a critical illness situation would be that if we look at certain statistics, at least in Canada, because we're based here in Canada, 565 daily diagnoses of cancer in Canada based on the 2017 Center for Cancer in Canada. And heart and stroke diseases are the #1 cause of death in Canada. So you see that the cause for concern is there in terms of getting a critical illness. How do we protect that and mitigate that without eroding our financial plan and our retirement plan and our financial well-being? Essentially, what that results in is a lost income. What do we see when we lose our income? What does that look like in terms of a critical illness? So say, for example, you have a diagnosis of a cancer or another illness, there are 25 in the industry, but the top 3 are cancer, heart attack, and stroke. So if that were to happen, you'd have to get a diagnosis and then probably off work for a certain amount of time recovering. So essentially you would have a lost income for that period of time. So I put an example here of say 2 years worth of recuperating treatments at an average salary of 50,000. Again, that's a personal salary that can be different for everyone, but that would be more or less 100,000 of lost income for that 2-year period. Now there's other expenses that would be in there too. So if you had to adapt your home, extra medication, so on and so forth, you can see how this cost can rise rather quickly. So in order to protect against this potential loss, there is something called critical illness protection. So what is the action under this type of setup? So the way I advise my clients to set it up, and again this is a personal case-by-case situation, is to structure it in this way where it's a never lose-lose situation. So the client will always come out winning in the situation. You know, it reminds me of a comment my client gave me the other day who said, you know, Adamo, I don't really like insurance because I feel like I'm paying for nothing. And I totally understand that concept. So that's something that I've internalized, and wherever I can do that, I will put in metrics or measures to be able to not lose the client's money in a protection strategy. So what does that mean? To keep it simple, if we look at the structure of the critical illness policy here, it would be, for example, the protection of 100,000. So the client would have this coverage for his or her entire life. If they would be sick from one of the 25 illnesses in the industry, the top 3 are cancer, heart attack, and stroke, the client would receive a tax-free benefit of $100,000. Now, that's all great, but what if I never get sick, which is the goal? What if I'm always healthy and I never need to claim that 100,000? Well, then we fall into the 100% return of premium on cancellation. So, example, we're 55 years old, we've had it for a couple of years, 10 years, 15 years, and we do not need the policy anymore. We can actually cancel the policy after a predetermined amount of time and get 100% of the cost back for the premiums. So look at it as a pseudo savings account. So that's this part of the equation. Now what if instead of getting a critical illness, you pass away without getting ill? So what happens then is all the money that was paid lost? Absolutely not. 100% of the premiums would be paid back to your family or your estate upon death. So it's essentially a closed circle, never lose situation for the client. If you're sick, you get the money. If you're healthy and you cancel, you get all your money back. And if you pass away without getting sick, you get all the money back. Well, your family would. So essentially this would be the action that protects the issue of a lost income under an illness diagnosis. So the idea is that in the results section, you'll see that by having this protection, you receive a tax-free benefit into your bank account to spend how you wish on recovery, on a trip, on whatever the case may be. The second point is that you protect your retirement plan. So say, for example, you have your financial planner and you build a retirement plan. You can easily see how a couple of years of an illness can erode that retirement plan. Stopped contributions, increased expenses, so it would delay or completely defer or erode your retirement plan. Having a protection like this actually keeps you on that retirement plan because it protects your salary for X number of years that we chose to purchase this coverage. And the third point is the never lose situation. So say in 10, 15 years, the client says, I'm happy, I'm protected, I've built my financial plan really well, where I feel like I can weather something like this personally without having the protection. Perfect. We cancel the policy and we invoke the 100% return of premium, and we would get all our money back tax-free. We could then take that money, invest it in a retirement plan, invest it in whatever the case may be, spend it, whatever we want to do, we would have that money to do so. So this was a brief introduction to the critical illness structure. There are other ways to set up the protection and the strategy. However, the full circle, never lose situation of having it for life. If you're sick, you claim it. If you don't, you get your money back. And if you pass away prematurely, there is also a 100% payout. I find that this is the best structure for a client where you're protected, you don't lose your money, and you protect your retirement plan. So I hope this was a great intro to critical illness. As always, thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. And again, as always, have a great day.